If you liked the video, feel free to subscribe. It would really help the channel, and we have battle reports, boarding actions, and list videos every week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. This video is an overview of the Black Ship Guardians detachment for the Adeptus Custodes in the new Boarding Actions 10th edition. I will go through the army rule, detachment rule, the 2 enhancements, and the 4 stratagems that come with the detachment, and I'll also include an example list for this detachment. Now we will go through the Boarding Actions army rule for the Adeptus Custodes, and then the detachment rule for the Black Ship Guardians. The army rule is focus kata, and basically with this one, you keep the kata ability, but you can only use each of the stances once per game, and it is army-wide again. And it only lasts for 1 fight phase, so it no longer lasts until your next command phase. It is just the 1 fight phase. The Black Ship Guardians detachment rule is priority quarry. At the start of the first battle round, you can select up to 2 enemy units to be your army's quarry, one of which must be the opponent's warlord. Each time a Psykana unit from your army makes an attack that targets one of your army's quarries, reroll the hit roll of 1. Each time a Psykana unit from your army declares a charge, it can include 1 or more of your army's quarries as targets of the charge, even if they are not visible to it. Here are the units you can include in a Black Ship Guardians list. You can include up to 2 of the following units. Duplicates are not allowed, a Leia or a Knight Centura. If you can include only 1 other character unit, you can include up to 1 of the following units: a Infantry Shield Captain or Valerian. You can include up to 3 of each of the following units: Prosecutors, a 5 or 10 man squad; Vigilators, a 5 or 10 man unit. You can include up to 1 of the following units: a 5 or 10 man unit of Witch Seekers. There's not many rule adaptations with this one, the only one being the Shield Captain model loses the Master of Stances ability. The 2 Black Ship Guardian enhancements. The first one is the Varantine Aquila. Psykana models only, while a friendly Psykana unit is within 3 inches of the bearer. Models in that unit have a 4+ invulnerable save. I like the look of that one. We might use that one in the list. The next one is Sinister Presence. Both of these are auras, Psykana model only. While an enemy unit is within 6 inches of the bearer, that unit cannot seize objectives. And in your opponent's command phase, that unit must take a battle shock test. This enhancement cannot cause a unit to take 2 battle shock tests per phase. Next up is the 4 core stratagems for the Black Ship Guardians. The first one for 1 CP is Blade of the Vigilators. In the fight phase, 1 Vigilators, a Leia, or Knight Centura equipped with Executioner Great Blade unit from your army. Until the end of the phase, each time attack targets your unit, -1 to the wound roll. Next up is Cornered Prey for 1 CP in your movement phase just after a Psykana unit has fell back. Until the end of the turn, your unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back. Great for a unit of Vigilators. Focus Fear for 1 CP, your opponent's shooting phase or the fight phase just after an enemy has selected its targets, and 1 Psykana unit selected as a target of one of those attacks. Until the end of the phase, each time an attack targets your unit, worsen the AP of the attack by 1. So it's pretty much Armor of Contempt. Then finally, Punishment of the Prosecutors for 1 CP in your shooting phase, a prosecutor unit from your army. Until the end of the phase, improve the AP of ranged weapons equipped by models in your unit by 1. In addition, each time a model in your unit makes a ranged attack on a critical wound, improve the AP of that attack by an additional 1. Next, we'll go over all the core enhancements that you could choose from when picking a list. Enhancements cost 0 points in boarding actions. First up, we have Trademark Weapon. When you select this enhancement, select 1 ranged weapon equipped by the bearer, excluding torrent weapons, and make a note of this on your army roster. Add 1 to the strength and damage characteristic of that weapon. Then there's Superior Boarding Tactics. You start the battle with 2 CP. Close Quarters Killer. Each time the bearer makes a melee attack, you can re-roll the wound roll. Then we have Expert Breacher. The bearer's unit can attempt to operate a hatchway at the start or end of the move step of your movement phase. The bearer's unit cannot attempt to operate more than 1 hatchway per turn though. Then there is Peerless Leader. Once per battle, the bearer can be targeted with the Battlefield Command Stratagem for 0 CP, even if you have already targeted a different unit with that stratagem this phase. Then finally, we have Personal Teleporter, and that just gives the bearer the Deep Strike ability. 5 Core Stratagems first. First up, we have Battlefield Command for 1 CP. At the start or end of any phase, 1 leader unit from your army and 1 friendly bodyguard unit within 6 inches of it that could normally be attached to. Select one of your leader unit's leader abilities. Until the start of your next command phase, that bodyguard unit is treated as being led by that leader unit for the purposes of the leader ability. There is a restriction with this one. Once you target a unit with the stratagem, that unit cannot be targeted with it again until the next command phase. So you can't double up on this, putting 2 different abilities on 1 unit. Next, we have the simple counteroffensive for 2 CP in the fight phase. Just after an enemy unit has fought, you can fight next. Next one is a new one for boarding actions, Explosive Clearance for 1 CP, a battle tactic in your shooting phase. 1 unit from your army that has not selected to shoot this phase. Select 1 model in your unit that is equipped with a weapon with the blast ability. Until the end of the phase, when determining how many models are in the target unit for the purposes of that ability, you can include models that are not visible to the attacking model. In addition, attacks made with that weapon can be allocated to models that are not visible to the attacking model. Insane Bravery for 1 CP is Epic Deed. In the Battle Shock step of your command phase, just after you failed a Battle Shock test taken for the unit from your army, your unit is treated as having passed that test instead and is not Battle Shocked as the result. And there's no restrictions with boarding actions in Insane Bravery. In regular 40k, you can only use this before you roll your Battle Shock test, and you can only use it once per game. Boarding actions, it looks like you can use it multiple times per game and after you have failed that Battle Shock. And then finally, the simple command reroll. So you can reroll the hit, wound roll, damage roll, all those fine things. 1 CP, you can reroll that test or saving throw. And here is the example list I have for the Black Ship Guardians. Comes to 495 points. We have Valerian, then Alea, a 5-man unit of Prosecutors, a 5-man unit of Witchseekers, and then 3 5-man units of Vigilators. And that is a list. It comes to 495, and I do look forward to actually trying this list on the table. It does look interesting with all the different stratagems. They're only 1 CP each, and they are all kind of useful. Now for some quick final thoughts. And like I said, I am interested in trying this list. It does look quite a bit of fun. There's a lot of interesting stratagems. I have played the other Custodes Detachment, and I found a lot of the stratagems you just didn't use a lot. The Consolidate through walls seems really cool, but just doesn't happen all that often. So I think a lot of these stratagems will be used. The Arm of Content, the Prosecutors one, the Fallback in Charge for the Vigilators. There's a lot of interesting stratagems and synergy with this detachment. And I hope this video does get a fair amount of views. The last one didn't get a lot of views, and I want to keep covering these detachments just because there's not a lot of channels really covering boarding actions or these detachments. But if they're not really getting the views, then it's not really worth doing it. I know everyone hates hearing that, especially if you're here to see the detachments. I might just not cover all of them, or maybe just only the more popular ones. We'll see how this one does, and thank you for watching. Thanks for watching the whole thing if you got this far. Subscribe for more weekly battle reports and Warhammer content. And like I always say, thanks for watching, thanks for stopping by.